like to call the meeting to order. Will everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mayor Paul.
Here.
Vice Mayor Starkey. Here. Councilmember Whitman.
Here.
Councilmember Hatton.
Here.
Councilmember Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Lemack.
Here.
Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Holstein. Here. Mr. Sherwin.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The first meeting of each month, we allow time at the beginning of the meeting for public comments. Speakers will not be limited to the number of topics. However, discussion will not be permitted on any item on the agenda for public hearing. When that is called for public hearing, you may come forward and speak at that time. Each person will be limited to 3 minutes. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak in the open portion of the meeting this evening? Well, I guess everybody's happy. Yeah. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearings and we'll move on to our first order of business, which is a presentation. And we're always happy to Town of Davie's Let's Talk Business Recognition and call for Ariana. Oh, no, it's not Ariana. Yeah, come on. She put you in charge today, right?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Mayor, Town Council members, administrators, staff, and members of the public. My name is Cameron Tippett, Public Relations Assistant for the Town of Davie. It is my pleasure to introduce the town's 2024 second quarter recipient for the Let's Talk Business Award, Davie Academy of Art. Let's Talk Business is a townwide initiative that recognizes a local business each quarter and provides them with a platform to share their story, products, and services. Our goal is to shine a light on small businesses, as they are the backbone of our thriving community. In addition to tonight's feature, we will showcase the business on the town's social media and provide them with a marketing video to use as they see fit. Davie Academy of Art is more than an art school. It's a transformative educational experience that leads students through the traditional methods of art. For nearly a decade, Tom and Linda Davie have been sharing their creative talents in their Davie studio and classroom, located at 5400 South University Drive, Suite 105. Their artistic style combines traditional figurative painting with a contemporary flair. Unlike many art studios, Davie Academy of Art prioritizes skill building. From foundational drawing and value scale to the intricacies of charcoal and oil painting, the Academy equips students with tried and true skills that classic artists like Michelangelo studied. Not only do they offer drawing and painting courses, but also unique classes like sculpture, fashion design, and printmaking. Davie Academy of Art prides itself on a positive environment where students can fully immerse themselves in their artistic passions. Not only do students receive one-on-one mentorship, but they work at a flexible pace and personalize their art pieces. The Academy welcomes individuals from all walks of life, united by a shared love of art. Whether you are young or old, a seasoned artist or a budding enthusiast, Davie Academy of Art provides the ideal setting to cultivate your artistic talents. Their dedicated faculty, comprehensive resources, and inspiring atmosphere empower students to become the artists they aspire to be. I hope you enjoy this short video showcasing Davie Academy of Art and the value they add to the town of Davie.
Hi, it's Tom Davie from Davie Academy of Art, and let's talk business. Davie Academy of Art has been in business in the town of Davie for almost 10 years. I went to school and college for graphic design, but then I had a painting class, and one of my professors, when I gave him my painting, he said to me, "You're going to be a painter." And it changed my life, and I decided that's it, I'm going to be a painter. My work is rooted in traditional art. It's a familiar painting of the past, but it has contemporary twist. My wife Linda and myself decided that we wanted to impart our passion of art onto students in the traditional methods of art. Most art schools promote creativity first. Our art school is promoting skill building. We start off with drawing and value scale, and then we do cast drawing, which is observational drawing, and then charcoal drawing, and then we paint. Our classes are 3 hours. We have a flexible schedule. Some people come twice a week, some people come twice a month, and they work individually in a group setting where I oversee them and their progress. They don't need any experience. We have students of all different ages. From 8 is the youngest, now 87 would be the oldest. When you enter here, it's a respite from the craziness of the world out there. Art is a healing. It's not just a product we make, but also a healing. I say it's cheaper than therapy. You need positive energy to make good art. Even the music, it's just everything's tranquil to keep it positive. That's the key.
Davie Academy of Art!
Thank you. Well, that was really nice. A couple years back, about 10 years ago, me and my wife took students to Europe. And when we came back, I said, we're going to open up an art school. I used to teach at Broward College, Central Campus, so I love the area, and I just thought this is where I got to have my dream come true. So, thank you for allowing us to experience our dream here, and I look forward to at least another 10 years. Thank you very much.
I will now present the award to Tom Davita.
Congratulations. It's one of the best kept secrets. We'll have to come by and say hello. Looks like a beautiful studio. Thank you very much for all that you do. Looks like we have a lot of talented people in the area. Thank you. All right, we're going to move on. Let's see, we have staff is requesting to withdraw item number 7, roadway easement agreement. May I have a motion to withdraw 7?
Motion to withdraw number 7.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Staff is requesting to table item 23, a code amendment to August 21st. May I have a motion to do that? I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. On the consent agenda, I will be pulling 1, 2, and 18. Is there anybody else that wishes to pull anything? Okay, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda minus 1, 2, and 18?
Motion to approve the consent agenda minus 1, 2, and 18.
Is there, I see a second, several of them. You beat me to it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. Okay. Based on our workshop, items 1 and 2, we'll take number 1 first. Take number 1 first. And I would like to ask someone to entertain a motion to deny number 1.
Motion to deny number 1.
All right, we have a second, and you understand that if you want to vote to deny, you vote yes, so
What?
everybody.
Wait.
we sometimes have a problem
No,
with
I
that,
agree.
so I
I
just
agree.
want to
I
remind
sometimes have-
everybody.
No, so can we go through that again, Mayor? I'm sorry.
So
You're
if
right,
you-
you're
if-
right.
To deny is yes.
We are going to
what?
continue negotiations.
No. The motion is to deny continuing
Thank you,
negotiations.
that's what I needed to forget.
Yes.
Thank you, I just wanted to,
And then if you're willing to deny it,
Want
then
to
you
know.
vote yes.
yes.
Okay. So did someone make the motion?
And
I think she seconded
I-
as
We
well.
have
I
a
didn't
motion.
hear.
We have a motion and a second. Councilmember Hatton
Yes,
made the
I
motion,
motion-
seconded
yes.
by Councilmember Lewis.
Okay, thank you. You want to do a roll call?
Yes, Mayor. Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman,
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 2 is, I will entertain a motion to approve number 2, which is ending the negotiations with Sunrise and proceeding with our own utility.
Motion to approve number 2.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. We have your direction. We're going to do Country Inn Pet Resort with the special permit, so we'll do the other items on the public agenda first. We have number 19, which is a code amendment. This is a second and final reading. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, amending Chapter 26 titled Commercial Photography, providing for severability, providing for conflicts, and providing for an effective date.
Is there anyone here who wishes to speak for or against this? You may do so at this time.
And incidentally, all the quasi
What?
have been waived.
The quasi's been J's, okay. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments by council? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve number 19?
Motion to approve number 19.
Second.
And I see her second. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Starkey.
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Number 20 is a budget amendment. It's the second reading. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the ordinance by title?
An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, authorizing the Third Amendment to the fiscal year 2024 budget, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against this may come forward at this time. Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any questions or discussion from council? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the budget amendment?
Motion to approve number 20 budget amendment.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis. Vice Mayor Starkey.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. It's the first reading, second and final reading to be held after the state agency review. This is a comprehensive plan amendment. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, amending the future land use element of the Town of Davie Comprehensive Plan, providing for severability, providing for conflict, providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is an open public hearing. As anyone wishes to speak for or against this, you may come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve number 21
Motion
comprehensive?
to approve number 21 comprehensive plan amendment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Whitman.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Starkey.
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton.
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yes.
Mayor Paul.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Now we're to the site plan and the special permit for Country Inn Pet Resort. Mr. Sherwin, would you read both by title, both the site plan? Oh, there, you don't have to read a site plan, you just have to read the special permit, I'm sorry.
Yes, Mayor. A resolution of the Town of Davie, Florida, taking final action on special permit application SC 23-017, Country Inn Pet Resort, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. Are there any members of the public here to speak on this subject? I don't see any. All right. We're going to let you make a presentation, then we'll follow it up with the staff report. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, Town Council members. Andrew Shine with Lockry and Chakas here representing the property owner. With me, I also have Dr. Monica Silva, who's the owner, her daughter Bruna, Damian Collins, who also works for the resort, and Rich Berry, our architect. This is the property that you can see here, 2190 South Flamingo Road. Go to the next slide, please. Is it possible? Am I allowed to do that? Thank you. Oops, how do I go back? Sorry. Bottom. Nope. Oh. All right, bit of brief history. The Country and Pet Resort, they first opened up in 2006 in Davie. They expanded again in 2013 due to increased demand, expanded again in 2020 due to increased demand. And we're here again for the final expansion. This was it was always idealized as a 4-phase development, and this is the last phase of it. The reason that they're getting all of this increased demand is this is technically under the code, this is considered an animal kennel. But if you've been to here, and if you haven't, you should, this is not really a kennel. This is truly a pet resort. They also have an animal hospital on the facility. So it's not like the typical kennel that you would think of when you hear the word kennel. Since it's not a typical kennel and is more of a resort, they have a lot of contracts with law enforcement agencies. I'll name a few. City of Delray, Coconut Creek, Miramar, Pembroke Pines, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, Homeland Security, and even the town of Davie. So when those agencies have their canines or even the personal police dogs, they have contracts with Country and Pet Resort to bring their dogs here because it's a really high-quality facility. I'm not saying that as their attorney who's here at a public hearing. It truly is a very high-quality facility, and you see that with all the contracts that they have with these governments. They do have more governments and more agencies wanting to come to them, including Broward Schools, who wants to bring the school canines to Country Inn. But there's not enough room for them. So that's why we're here for this expansion. The expansion, you can see it's outlined in the dark, the oval pattern, the dark black on the right. This section it'll be connected to the existing resort, which you can see. So if you see on the right side of your screen, this is it proposed with the expansion. So it'll be going on the east side of the building. They currently have 146 kennels, and the expansion will add another 36 kennels. Continue. The area on the bottom right, this expansion area is mostly, it's for anyone if you want to bring your dogs there or if the police want to bring their dogs there. But it's designed to mimic another area of the resort where it was mostly used for police dogs. So you could see over there on the board. I'll show it on a screen. But they're fully enclosed kennels, fully soundproofed, and they have it's a play area. It has the artificial turf, but it's actually inside the kennel, inside the building. So these dogs can spend all day there. And the area on the south, on the bottom of this, is the area where the officers can take their dogs, bring their dogs, and when they go pick them up in the morning to go to work, they let them out there. That is not an area for if you wanted to bring your dog there. That's not their play area. This is a closer up. You can see the 36 new kennels. They're all private kennels. There are interior play areas as well so that they don't have to take the dogs out. The dogs do go out, but they have an interior play area as well. It helps with sound. Speaking of sound, we did hear some folks have reached out regarding sound. And again, I do wish all of you went to the resort to hear this, but this is as soundproofed as can possibly be. The inside, they have acoustic tiles on the roof, spray foam, drop ceiling fiberglass above that. It's all concrete block construction, hurricane windows. So interior, it's as soundproof as can be. Concerns I did hear were regarding sound when the dogs go out in the morning. And it sounds kind of counterintuitive that we're expanding, but the sound is actually going to dampen. But if you look at this picture, it does tell that story. The area where the dogs play is in the middle. It's not being expanded. So when the dogs get let out at 7 in the morning, they go to that middle area. We're building a building around that area. And there are neighborhoods, it's about 1,500 feet away to the southeast. But this building will actually help dampen the existing sound for the dogs outside. So not expected to have any sound issues. We did submit the acoustic study. The acoustic study showed that the sound is about ambient noise, 60 decibels or so, which is between ambient noise and 60 decibels. And to put 60 decibels in perspective, I'm speaking significantly higher than 60 decibels right now in a microphone. 60 decibels is just normal conversation. So we're not expected to have any sound issues, and the sound that is produced now is likely going to get better. Let me continue. These are the indoor areas that I was speaking of. They're really, really nice kennels, individual indoor turf access for the dogs. Everything is enclosed. Here are elevations of the building. And the new expansion is about 5,000 or so square feet. It'll bring the total to around 40,000 square feet for the resort and hospital. This is the landscape plan. We are removing 2 trees to make room for this. We're well over the code requirement for trees. This will also affect drainage a little bit. We are adding a new drainage field, and we're expanding the dry retention area in the back to account for that change in drainage. Also, I guess there wasn't anybody here from the public, but we did hear originally concerns when we were going to the Planning and Zoning Board first, that neighbors were concerned we were building on that dry retention area. When they came for the expansion that was done in 2020, they promised to never expand on that dry retention area, and we're still not doing that. But there were concerns when the town sent out the notice to the neighbors. It pointed to the subject site. It pointed to the east side where the dry retention area is. So I think that was cleared up, but we're not doing that. We have a recorded declaration that we're not building on there, and we're not asking to remove that. As for the acoustic study, the addition meets the requirements in the acoustic study. Sound will be negligible at or below ambient noise. I'll skip past this. And that is all, actually. They're very excited to bring this to the town, excited to bring more employment to the town. They have 50 employees now and do plan on hiring more with the expansion. It's a great addition to the town. And I'd be happy to go through the actual requirements of the special permit, the criteria in the code if you'd like. I did not include it in the presentation, but more than willing to go through it if you'd like. It is included in the staff report, though. Thank you.
Do you have anything for the staff report?
Nothing to add, Mayor.
Was there anything that they had added to the,
There were no additions, no
Okay.
new letters. There's no staff recommendations for the site
okay,
plan.
that's what I just wanted to double check on, thank you. I have a couple of questions. You said that you're removing 2 trees. What kind of trees are they?
Let me get that information. They're not big.
That's, I want to know what time they are. If they're exotics or native trees?
Yeah, they're being relocated, not removed.
Oh, okay, well,
Okay.
that's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And you're going through the proper root pruning process and to make sure the trees are properly watered when they're moved?
Yes.
Okay.
And any permits that are required will be obtained.
Yeah, you need to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to root prune, then to bag it, and when you move it, to make sure it's watered. We've been having several issues of trees being relocated where they're dying because they weren't root pruned properly, far enough in advance, and they weren't watered afterwards, and that's the key.
Understood. We'll make sure that's done. Yeah,
Okay.
they value the trees at this site, so.
Excuse me. I know the early issue, and we recognize that where it was identified.
Sorry.
What?
I didn't.
Yeah, but if she's speaking, she can't without coming to the,
Understood. I'll speak for her. She works very closely with Joseph Jimenez at the city for landscaping, so they're.
he's not with us anymore. He'll be a new person.
I didn't know that.
He retired.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Got to find a new one, Monica.
Aw,
Hope we get one that's good.
So we cleared that up, that the wrong area was identified. You mentioned it already, but I'd like you to expand a little bit on how you're improving the dry retention and drainage area to accommodate the additional buildings that are.
Sure, it's not, we're not adding much demand to the drainage here, but we're increasing an HDPE pipe, the high-density polyethylene, from 12 inches to 24 inches to go into the dry retention area. That's essentially it. It's not much of a change.
And just from staff, is that sufficient? Okay, thank you. We're always concerned about drainage, especially when we're putting in more buildings and using the same area for drainage.
Of course.
The other thing was, of course, the number of letters that we got and the complaints that we got about the dogs barking. And I'm very happy to hear that everything is going to be enclosed except for the dog runs. And I'm going to propose something, and hopefully you'll agree with me. I'd like to see, originally I was going to ask for you to enclose the dog runs too. But, I can understand wanting to be outdoors and so forth and so on. But is that a feasibility to enclose the dog runs as well?
You mean with a roof?
Yeah.
Could it be done? Yes, but it's a very big selling point for the resort, and that's why there's such demand there. There's a pool out there, a splash pad. I will say the outdoor area there's a fence about 50 feet away from the wall, and then we have the dry retention area beyond that.
Please,
Go, you
no.
gotta speak up.
If you're going to speak, you have to come up. You
I got
can't
it.
be
I
having
got
a
it.
conversation
She's talking about the
back and
outdoor
forth.
area. There's no roof over it.
Come up.
Mayor,
Just come up and speak.
She's talking about the middle.
We don't bite.
Mayor, if I can even inject on this. I've been there.
Yeah.
And I think what you're asking, if you saw how it's designed, it's really not feasible. But I'm gonna say this, and I have some questions too. But I've never seen a place as well designed.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it.
It's impressive, but how she has this, and the way they showed me the one they have, and this is adding on, I don't see any problem with sound on this.
Just to clarify, are we talking about the outdoor area with
Yes.
the pool, where the pool currently
No,
exists?
the runs, the additional runs that you're
Those are
putting
all
in.
fully enclosed. The kennels, fully
They're
enclosed.
enclosed.
And the dog
soundproofed.
runs too?
Yes,
The only thing that's not enclosed is the central
the outdoor play area.
Yes,
play
that's
area?
correct.
Yes.
And that's going to be surrounded by buildings?
Buildings and a bit of a fence. On this
Well,
plan,
a
you can
fence doesn't stop sound, but.
sound. No. It will be surrounded more by buildings than it currently is.
Okay.
It's not how I envisioned till I went there and I saw what
Yeah.
she had. And it's extremely well designed.
It's a beautiful place.
Oh, the only thing that concerned me was that all of the things that we got from the residents about the barking, yet none of them came to the P and Z meeting, and they didn't, and there's no one here from the public
And if I
tonight.
can comment on that, Mayor, I've gone to Bristol twice,
Oh, Bristol is so new.
but Bristol's the closest to that. I've been to Bristol twice, and then I went to the other one. I got someone there to let me in the gate. I've never heard, I could not hear a dog.
And you went during the times that they have the open?
I was there early and I went late, and I could not hear the dogs. And the
we
one
also-
and the one place that could complain, if they were going to complain, by distance would be there in Bristol's. And I've knocked on those doors, gave those people my card. I didn't get to meet the owner. I met the sister, and I said, please, if you can get a hold of her, have her call me, because if she has a problem, I want to talk to her. Never got a call. Okay,
And-
but I will say this, that I was originally very concerned, especially as close as Bristol was. But after going and seeing how well designed that is, it put a lot of my fears to rest. This is probably the best designed kennel I've ever seen. I was blown away. The staff is quality, and I was really paying attention when I walked through there. And I didn't just pay attention to what you were telling me about the buildings. I was looking at the dogs. How are they cared? How is the staff treating everybody? I'm impressed. And people that know me know my hobby for the last 30 years, besides the martial arts, is I've been competing in the sport of Shih Tzu. It's a working dog. The money that I spend on my dog, if most people knew what I spend when I bring a dog in from Europe, is thousands. I'm not going to tell you what I spend, but I spend stupid money on an animal. I would leave my dog there. And normally when I go out of town, I'm paying somebody that's used to working with working dogs, and I spend a lot of money because I don't want to have to worry about my dog. That's one of the few places I've ever seen that I would leave my dog. But
Definitely
I
appreciate
still,
the kind
as a
words.
councilman, was very, very concerned about people in Bristol and the sound. And I don't think that there's a sound. Now, I also had the town staff check on complaints on any sounds. Our code enforcement informed me today that there has not been one complaint in 4 years. I think they go back for not one call, not one complaint.
If I may add, we have not had a complaint in the entire 17 years for noise.
Okay. Well, I didn't go back to 17, but I
Yeah.
know that our
Well,
code
you know,
told me
I find
not
too,
one call.
and a lot of people don't understand this, if somebody called the police and made a complaint, and the police came out, if the resident didn't insist on a report, there would be no record of the issue. So, and we haven't been able to
I-
get any information
There
on
would still be a
that.
miscellaneous report on there, wouldn't there, Rick?
No, if there's no report written, there's not gonna be a, right, so.
Mayor, just to clear the record, it's Rick. Yeah, there wouldn't be a written actual report, but it would be captured in the CAD system as still being a call for service.
And code would be, if people were calling about sound, it would go to the code enforcement, and they haven't had any. So I was hesitant to
You know,
really want to support this.
I know, and I'm very torn myself because it looks beautiful, and I'm glad that so much of it is being enclosed and everything. But I was just wondering if you would entertain this idea that you restrict the hours that the dogs are out, rather than at 7, maybe not till 8, till 11, or 2 to 5. And if we don't get any complaints in, let's say, a 6-month period, then you can go back to your original.
If it were a business and any normal business, I would say sure, but it's dogs that we're dealing with, so I don't know if delaying 100-something dogs going out by an hour in the morning is.
Because when you got that many dogs going out, there's going to be barking, you know.
But how it's done-
We have gone to the property line all the way in the back at 7 in the morning and taken videos and audio, and we cannot hear the dogs. We did the acoustic study, and they cannot hear the dogs. There was an email that I saw that said that they hear the dogs at 6:30. We know that's not true because they don't go out until 7. And we've been on the phone with some folks who had complained, and in the background of the phone
gonna
call,
say,
their dogs
right.
were
Yeah.
going off.
Yeah, I
there.
like
So
that one.
do dogs bark early in the morning? Yes. Is it our dogs? According to all of the evidence and things that we've prepared and seen, no. It's at the point where we're having to try to prove a negative, and we can't do that.
Mayor, one thing that I want to add to this is, when you say you have 146 dogs, none of them are all going out at 7 o'clock in the morning.
And
They
some
don't have-
don't go out at all.
Yes,
The
but
working
that's what I'm
dogs,
saying.
don't go out there at all, and they have a lot of working dogs there at any given time.
And they have older dogs that are kind of affirmed that don't go out. It's not, It's not like you're thinking they just let out the clean and you have it all out. It's almost a scheduled, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a scheduled time they're out, and they're not out running free.
So you're rotating them
Yeah, she
in
had.
that period of time, so.
And she had people out with them.
Right.
So it was a very structured, I was thinking that all these dogs went out to play. And he's shaking his head. He'd agree with me, it's not. It's a very controlled situation on how they did it. I was very impressed. You have a very well-run organization. I was kind of blown away. And it's run as good as any hospital that I've been in, to be honest
Okay.
with you.
You've
That's how.
repeated yourself several times, so I think we got the point.
Well, I felt bad because originally when I first got the thing on this, I thought, I'm not letting the kennel get bigger, right by those people. But then I started doing some research on it, and I actually went there, and I thought, how can I say no to something when the facts are different?
And there's no one,
So-
And I just,
there's nobody here either.
I feel that
And no one's here.
even if only one had come this evening, I mean, just the
Right.
fact that none of the residents, unless they're depending on the fact that they sent us the letters, but a lot of those letters were based on facts that no longer exist, so,
It's hard to say no.
yeah, it's very, very, and I was, and I felt the P and Z probably felt the same way, because I don't think anyone showed up at their meeting either. Yes?
Did you not say this is the last expansion that you'll be
Yes.
doing there?
This is the
correct?
last
So, I
expansion.
mean, this is it, so whatever it is, it is. And if they're not here to complain about it, then they shouldn't complain. That's my feeling.
If I'm not mistaken, too, Mayor, they're on, I think, 7 acres.
Yeah.
So yeah, this site is about 4 and change. The other side is about 3 and change. It's seven in total. This side where the pet resort is about 4
Yeah,
and
it's a
change.
big area. It's not a small little,
Oh, yeah, and what is the dry retention area? How many acres is that?
Looking at it, estimate 1.5. It's about half that site.
It's 1 acre?
One.
There's 3 acres on the back, and 2 acres are reserved for residential, and 1 acre is, I'm sorry.
State your name,
There's
please.
3 acres in the back.
State your name,
My name
please.
is Richard Berry, I'm the architect. There's 3 acres on the back, 1 acre is reserved for dry retention, and 2 acres are reserved for residential. The plat was originally 3, and when we did one of the previous additions, we agreed to reduce it down to 2.
So it's possible that you'd still be doing more here by putting 2 homes back there.
We don't have any plans to put 2 homes back here. That was that was done on the plat, 24 years ago, back in the early 2000s. We're not expanding the kennels.
Yeah.
Yes, there are development rights existing from the original
But the fact that
plat.
that's empty and that's assumed some more of the drainage area is very important to me, so.
We are limited to that area being dry retention, the one that is actually
then she
required
backs
for
up
our
to the
drainage.
horse trail. The horse trail's right back behind you. Yeah, it's a whole big, nice trail that
Yeah.
runs back through there. So I don't see how much further she could go anyways.
Oh, no, I'm just was concerned about the fact that the option is still there for them to put 2 houses back there.
It's my understanding when we recorded the declaration to restrict it, that the concern was not houses back there. It's my understanding the concern was expanding the kennel back
Yeah,
there.
okay. Okay, anybody else have any questions or comment?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a site plan and we have a special permit.
Okay,
Let's take
okay.
the site plan first.
For the site plan, I'll make a motion to approve site plan.
Second.
Roll call.
Vice Mayor Starkey?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes,
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
thank you. On the special permit,
Go ahead, make it.
do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, number
Second.
22, special permit.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Starkey?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
No.
Motion passes.
I'm voting no on that one. Just my single voice for the residents
Understood. Thank you
that
all,
are,
and
that are not here.
thank you all, and you're more than welcome to come by the resort anytime. It really is, it's eye-opening how nice it is. Thank you.
I've been by. I haven't gone in, but I've been by.
Keep up the good work.
Any appointments?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to nominate Dexter Franklin to the Veterans Advisory Board.
Very good. That makes it 4. So we can have a meeting at least. Great, good. I'm sure Mr. Hammer would be very happy. I have to go back. I had a committee recommendation, but I didn't make a note of it. Let's see, we got council meeting on August 21st, and then all the fun stuff starts again on September 4th with the budget hearings and special assessments, and you've got the calendar right there in front of you. I'm going to start out. I'd like to thank Glenda Martinez and her lovely staff. As small as they may be, they are very mighty. She entertained yesterday Davie Nagara from HUD, and he came here with another gentleman to just get a feel for the town of Davie and the projects that we're doing and the HUD money that we're, the money that we're spending. And I think it was a very, very fruitful meeting. And from what Glenda tells me, they were very, very happy. They were very pleased with what they heard and what they saw. And so I want to thank you very much. It was a long day for you, I'm sure, but I think it really was an excellent way for us to put a face, to the people in Washington and in the district, that their money is being well spent, and hopefully we can get more. But I want to thank you very much. You did a great job on that. August 7th is Purple Heart Day, and just a reminder that we have a Purple Heart Trail in Davie. We're a Purple Heart community, and we're very, very proud of the service and the veterans that have served our country. And just wanted to recognize the fact that today is Purple Heart Day. Got some very sad news yesterday. Jared Blount has announced that he's ceasing printing the DRW. He is the cost, the postage and so forth, and the amount of time that he needs to devote getting advertisement to cover his increased costs have just led him to the point where he is going to let that go. And he's asked Shallot from our town or our city, I wish they'd change it because they call it our city Davie, but it's, whatever. But, yeah, sure, I've tried. But it's interesting because This DRW started as the Western Express in the mid-'80s, and they had a little office on the south side of Griffin Road where there was an auction house just across the canal from Town Hall. And I've been involved with them ever since they started. So it's kind of like an end to an era. We wish Jared a lot of luck. He's going to be pursuing his photography business full-time, and I'm sure he'll be a great success. And he said he will continue to stay around and be here and take pictures and assist in the transition over to the new magazine. Of course, I'm going to make some suggestions, because one of the problems I had with this magazine, that we had to have our articles in almost a month in advance, and you couldn't be current. And so we hopefully we'll be able to work out some of these things. And I had 400 words, whereas in DRW I had 1,000. So, and then again, I couldn't always get everything in either. But so I'm going to personally talk to them and see if he can work out some of these things, and wish Jared lots of luck. I'm sure somebody else is going to mention it, but don't forget to get your rodeo tickets for September 7th. And that's all I'll say. So if anybody else wants to improve on that. Also, I was saving it for this time, but Phil had mentioned it already. We were very, very pleased with the number of people that came out to the National Night Out over at Betty Booth. I want to thank Parks and Rec and the Police Department and CRA and Cheryl and everybody. Of course, Jim Moore was there and playing nice loud music. So, and they served pizza and cupcakes, and it was really, really nice. And then they went on to Forest Ridge, and I'm sure that the Vice Mayor will tell us that, and then Rexmere and Southwest Ranches. Excuse me, I got a fur ball. A question I'd like to ask, and you don't have to answer me now, but just something we want to take a look at, on how we monitor social media. I'm constantly seeing things on social media about people who are renting rooms in their homes and taking in boarders and advertising that they've got special entranceway and privacy and so forth and so on. And I felt that if they found a loophole in the law, or is this just something that we're unable to track appropriately? So this is something for us to talk about. And then I noticed when I left, someone mentioned it to me when we were at the park yesterday, and when I left the park and I drove past, there's a house kind of southwest of Betty Booth, and there were like 6 or 7 cars parked in the front yard, and the resident mentioned to me that they were being worked on, and that there were many, many more in the backyard, and that she has contacted Code. I asked her to send me an email. I think because of the fact that she wanted to remain anonymous, I may not be getting that, but that might be something that Code needs to look at. Take a kid fishing. It was great. We had a great time. Some of the kids caught some really stupendous fish, and it was a nice crowd. Little weather problem for a while there, but most people stuck it out. And thank you again to Parks and Rec. It was really good. Appreciate it. Okay, then I received a letter, and I'm going to do my international section here. Again, we're all concerned about what's happening in the Middle East. We continue to press for the hostages, the Israelis that were taken hostage, that are still being held, to be returned. We're concerned tremendously with the growth of anti-Semitism and the destruction and graffiti that is continuously popping up. I want to say that We have been very proactive, our police department, with protecting and monitoring issues with the JCC and with other schools that house Jewish students. And then I got a letter from a resident who lives here in town, and he's concerned about the large-scale violence that's broken out in the past few days in Bangladesh, targeting Hindu minorities, and he was hoping that I would come out and take a stand on that. I am looking at the background and the information and trying to verify all the information before I do that. But again, this is another area of the world where minorities are being attacked, and we can't allow that to happen, not in our country, and hopefully help to try to prevent it happening in other countries as well. Michelle, would you like to?
Thank you, Mayor.
Any surprises?
Not yet.
Oh, God.
This week, we had the opportunity to help distribute school supplies at the Davie PAL, Rick and Rita Case Boys and Girls Club, and the Florence DeGeorge Boys and Girls Club. Our monthly Veterans Breakfast for August is postponed due to the use of the multi-purpose center as a polling place. And let's see. The Broward County school year starts next week. There will be increased traffic on our roadways, so plan ahead and give yourself enough time to get to and from your destination. And let's see. The Community Policing Unit is hosting an event, Coffee with a Cop, on August 15th, 2024, from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 at Ella's Cafe, located at 3890 Davie Road. And last but not least, happy birthday to the August babies. I wish you all the best. That's all for me, Mayor. Thanks.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you. I just wanted to thank Officer Delati and Chief Kenzie and Poland and all the team, even our mounted, who came out for a National Night Out in Forest Ridge. We had a great time. We appreciate all your hard work, and I think the families really enjoyed seeing your presence. And also want to shout out to our nurse, Nana, who is with the fire department, fire rescue. She passed out Narcan with instructions on how to use those, because as we know, there's a prevalence for a lot of people out in our communities nowadays to accidentally have an overdose. And the more we can get the effort out, and that was a part of a grant that's been out there now. And I just wanted to let the public know that first we began with our fire rescue with the Narcan a few years back. We then deployed and trained our police department so they could have it in their vehicles. And now we're going out to the public and a lot of our other employees as well, if they're out, and allowing them to have that in their car as well, because you never know when you're going to come upon somebody who may be in distress from an overdose, and maybe an accidental overdose. And to save a life would be really wonderful. So I just wanted to thank them all for that effort, and hopefully we'll continue with Chris, who's the gentleman who has the foundation that has been helping to fund this as well. So I wanted to thank him. I have his information. Again, he wants to meet with me, so I'm going to reach out to him and thank them all for that. I've missed a few events because I've been participating in a mom summer camp with a bunch of my daughters and grandchildren and a lot of their friends. We did a beach cleanup, and we did turtle education. We've done a lot of other activities too. One of the things that I was hoping that we'd be able to do in the future is do a park cleanup with families that could sign up and pick a day and do a park cleanup. I know we used to do the waterway cleanup with Central Broward Drainage District, but I haven't seen that since before the pandemic. So I don't know if we'll be able to reach out to them again and start cleaning out some of our canal systems with them as well. I think it would be a good community-oriented event, if we could look into those again, and maybe possibly start those up. Something that was brought to my attention last night at the National Night Out was that there's a small, and I want to say and emphasize, a small amount of neighbors in Forest Ridge that are interested in closing off an access. We've had this issue where there's an access in the site plan that allows for people to use their bike or walk through to access the elementary school. It was put in there for a good reason and to allow for the access. Every year since I've lived in Davie, since 1990, there's always been an issue where people are always parking there, blocking everybody else and parking their cars and walking the kids through. So the first 2 weeks are usually an education for a lot of those residents. Problem is, it happens every year. You get new parents, or after a holiday break, for instance, Thanksgiving break or Easter break or any of the spring breaks, and they come and they forget again and they start parking again and blocking access. We seem to be able to put a pretty good education out every once in a while, but we need to really work on that. There's supposed to be a meeting tomorrow night where they're talking about allowing another access farther down. And I will tell you that in the years past, the residents had not permitted that either. And when you talk about the majority of the parents not wanting people to park along that access road or shut off the access for the walkers and bike riders, I think it's important to respect their wishes and not just come up with a plan without involving the entire community. So I know that the police department is scheduling a meeting, I guess, with an HOA or somebody, and I just want to make sure that when we do this, we are aware of it up here on council, because I can tell you for the past, since 1990, nobody has wanted those shut off. And I just wanted to put that out there. I did discuss it with Officer Delato yesterday and let her know. And we had the president, an original president of Forest Ridge HOA, who also expressed, yeah, we've been working on those things for a year. So it's really an enforcement issue at the beginning of school year. As we know, every school year, every school district, every school has those issues for the beginning parents at the beginning of school year. So maybe talking about a better plan on looking at additional police officers and the availability of school zones in the beginning of school years to enforce those laws. I'd appreciate that. And I also, lastly, I want to thank our code enforcement for going out and doing the Orange Park beautification again, once again, out in Liberty Park in July, and you should have all received the report. And I want to thank everybody for that and thank them for the enforcement again.
Thank you.
Cleaning it up.
Thank you. Councilmember Hatton?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to kind of piggyback on what everyone said about our staff. They are the best. I mean, I had such a wonderful couple of days with handing out book bags at Rick and Rita Case and watching those kids' faces when they picked out a color or couldn't get their color or went and found their color and enjoyed getting the book bags. And the night out last night was just amazing. So thank you, everybody. Cheryl, thank you. I don't know if she's still here. No? Well, yeah, just pass it on. She's done a wonderful job. Chad, I can't believe you're still standing with everything that you've been doing for the last couple of weeks, a couple of days rather. And everybody else that's helped. You're just the best, and thank you, and keep up the good work, and thank you. And I have one question for Mr. Lemack. With school opening Monday, and I remember reading a while back about the SROs and what was going on. Do you have anything you can share with us about what's going on with SROs in the schools coming up Monday? Are they getting, I know there's a question of who's paying for it. Are we paying all of it? Are they not paying it?
No, we're resolved. We have a
That's-
contract
yeah.
with Broward County School Board, and we'll be fully staffed at the new rate. And we're
Oh, at the
ready to
new
go.
rate. It's-
Yes.
yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Councilmember Lewis?
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. As a business owner myself, I want to highlight 2 upcoming trainings for Davie business and vendors. The town's Small Business Development Center is hosting a 4-week interactive workshop that will be available online and virtually. We have limited spots, so please register now so that your spot is locked in. My next item is related to our procurement team. They will be hosting a vendor training seminar to provide for tips to those interested in doing business in the town. The training will take place on August 15th at 10 a.m. at Pine Island Multipurpose Center. The training will cover bids, RFPs, purchasing thresholds, and much more. And a quick reminder, the back-to-school sales tax holiday is ongoing and will end on August 11th. You can get some last-minute supplies on the exempted items. And I'd like to thank Mr. Lemack and the staff for their work that they did in our relations to the utilities divestiture. Thanks again for all your help. I know that had to have been a lot of work. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lemack?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want to take this opportunity to remind everyone, the town of Davie property owners will be receiving their truth and millage, or known as the trim notice, from Broward County Property Appraiser's Office next week. The town's proposed stormwater assessment fee will be on the notice, as well as an insert with stormwater assessment frequently asked questions. And Mrs. Roy is going to hand out a copy while I'm finishing up my comments, so you'll have to see what the insert is. In addition to this, the property owner's questions and assessment, the town is opening a temporary stormwater assessment customer service center. The residents can call, property owners can call the call center at 954-327-3777, or they can email to stormwater@davie-fl.gov. And the call center will be active on August 12th through September 30th, 2024. We should be able to address everybody's questions. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sherwin?
I have nothing.
If there are no objections, we're adjourned.
Hasta luego.